Hello, I'm Alistair and welcome to the Toolkit for Traders YouTube channel, where we give you the tools for trading success. On to today's video. Hi and welcome to another Toolkit for Traders YouTube video, where we give you the tools for trading success. And in today's video, I'm going to show you something quite different from what I've shown you before. But something I've been using for well over a year now, and it's a really useful tool for backtesting and testing your ideas in a more rigorous way than maybe you've done before. So if you followed my channel, you know I've taught people how to create expert advisors in MQL4 for MetaTrader. And that is one way you can make expert advisors, is natively in MetaTrader. But it's not the only way, and in my opinion, it's not the best way. As you go into finding and building your own expert advisors, your own trading robots, you'll go out there and try and find ideas and things, and you'll go on forums and that kind of thing. And I think it's highly unlikely that you'll find an algorithm which is solid and robust and highly profitable. I know lots of people want something extremely profitable. I think it's almost impossible to find that on free forums or people giving things away. It might happen, but it's extremely unlikely. So what you're likely going to have to do is create your own algorithm from your own ideas, or ideas you've heard yourself from other places, and build your own robot around that idea. But then you'll have to test them, because you won't be able to run a robot if you don't have the confidence that it works. So you need to be able to test those ideas and be happy for yourself to put any kind of money against them to understand whether they work or not. So it's important you have a good tool to do that. And the tool I'm going to show you today is just that. It's a tool that is faster to do that than MetaTrader. It's more accurate to do that than in MetaTrader, and it's a lot easier to do than in MetaTrader. MetaTrader and MQL are difficult languages to work with. There's lots of things that can go wrong, so it makes the development process take quite a while. So if you want to do it more rapidly, I highly recommend you use a tool called Zorro. Now, as most of you know, Zorro is a character from a film that came out a good 20-30 years ago now. A kind of a Robin Hood character, steals from the rich, gives to the poor, a kind of good bandit kind of character. And that's very much a theme that the people that have made, the Germans that have made this tool called Zorro, have worked on. So they say steal from the rich, give to the poor. So the first thing you're going to want to do to get Zorro is you're going to want to go to zorro-trader.com and go to their download page, and it'll bring you up to this page here, and you've got to pop in your country and your email and click the download button, and it will download a file. You can then click the exe file to set that up on your computer, and once you've done that on your computer and you open it, you will have a little tool that looks something like this here. So this is Zorro, and you're probably thinking, where are the bars, where's the ticks, where's the candlestick patterns, where's all the flicking numbers telling me to buy, where are all my indicators? And this isn't really that kind of tool. There's primarily a tool for backtesting your strategies. It's more of a tool for research rather than for active manual trading, which is really what MetaTrader is built around. So it doesn't have a lot of those fancy stuff that you'll get from that. And I'm not going to go through everything that's on the tool just now. I will do in the future if people want me to talk more about how I use Zorro. It's worth saying here as well, it is a free tool. There is a paywall at some stage based on if you make a certain amount of profit. So if you make, I think it's $20,000 profit, you have to then start paying a subscription. If you're making that much profit, then I don't think you'll have that much problem paying the subscription fee. But otherwise, it is a totally free tool, and for the development and backtesting purposes, it's not going to cost you anything to do that with. Only would need to subscribe if you are going on to live trading. So don't worry about that. And even then, it's not that expensive. But it's totally free tool. Very, very simplistic user interface here. Very, very basic. Because this isn't a fancy tool. This is not meant to wow you into trading and a lot of the business behind MetaTrader is to get you to trade, and this isn't trying to get you to trade in that same way. This is about backtesting and research. So what we're going to do today is we're going to build a backtest, and it's going to be a 10-year backtest of a very, very common and well-known strategy. It's a simple strategy. It's a trend trading strategy called, it's the simple moving average crossover strategy. And we're going to look at testing that strategy over a 10-year period, which is a long time and would take an extremely long time to do that test and write that test in MetaTrader. So what I want to show you today is how quickly you can do that in Zorro, and then how quickly you could move that test on to test all kinds of different strategies along the same lines, with very, very little work from you, so you can really rapidly test lots of different strategies and get more confident there. And then in a future video, if you find a strategy, I will show you how you can hook that strategy up live, so you can connect it to MetaTrader and therefore connect it to any other broker that works off MetaTrader 4 or 5. So Zorro really is quite a useful tool. It can work with many, many different platforms, many different brokers. So you're not got to worry about that. It's MetaTrader 4, MetaTrader 5, and it also works with some other tools like Interactive Brokers and Dukascopy, things like that. So it really is quite a Swiss Army knife for trading, but it is different. It is a bit more serious. This isn't play trading. This isn't messing around. This is proper trading. So let's get into it and show you how quickly. A lot of what I've just said is all a waffle, because otherwise this video would be super short, because it doesn't take a lot to trade that. So I'm just gonna what you need to do when you get started, if you click you select a script, and if you go to the top one, select new, and then you click edit, it will bring up a file like this, which is a blank one, and it's got nothing in it, and you think, well, okay, we're going to start from scratch. That's surely going to take a long time, but I'm going to show you how quickly we can do. So first we're going to just say what we're doing. We're going to do a big 10-year back test, and we're using a language called C Lite, so very, very similar to C# or C++, but actually much more simplistic, hence the light version of it, and that's what Zorro uses. I'm not going to go into loads. If you want to learn about coding, I really recommend you watch my MQL4 videos, because you'll get a much deeper understanding of coding, and by the time you come to this simple language compared to MQL4, you'll think this is dead easy. So, but I'll talk a bit about it. So to use Zorro, the first, I suppose, complicated bit of it is we need an include statement, and this just really, all this does is it says, hey, I want you to include a pre-made package, which is going to help this program. So we're going to do that. Before we go any further as well, we need to make sure we save this. So I'm going to say save as, and we're going to give this a new name. So we'll call this a 10-year back test. I'm going to underscore simple moving average. So we'll do that. And then what we're going to do is we need to start create a standard function. If I can spell that right. So we create a function, and a function, as you know, is a piece of code that can be used again and again whenever the program wishes to use the function. So it will loop between the parts of that function. So the parts between here, every time we call run, in this case, it will do the code in between here. Now the word run is an important function here, because every bar that comes through the Zorro platform, it will call this run function. So if you've got hourly bars, every hour it's going to call this. If you've got daily bars, every day it's going to call this. If you've got minute bars, it's going to call this every minute. So this is an important function to start off with, and this is really the basic building block of our code. So we'll just click save here, and then we'll get started. So we're going to do a 10-year back test. So I'm going to use the period. So we'll do the start. We'll just write the start date, and you can see the variable comes up, and we tell the Zorro software that we want to start in 2011, in January and on the 1st of January. So sort of doing the date backwards. And with C Lite, we always end lines like this with a semicolon, which is the same as in MQL4, so that should be pretty familiar to you. We're going to do 10 years worth of back testing, so we'll also put in end date, and we'll do that 2021, and we'll do it December the 31st and a semicolon. So as you start typing those variables, they'll come up because they're necessary for, they're part of the Zorro platform, so that'll help you fill those in. And then we're going to tell the software that we need to go actually a bit before that start date, because we need a time period before that start date in order for our indicators to build up enough data. So if you're using something like simple moving average with 200 days worth of data, it needs to go back. It needs to go back at least 200 days before the start. Otherwise, you've not got the data in there. So we'll give this a look back of let's say 300. I don't think we'll go higher than that, and we'll do that. Next, we're going to tell it what asset we're going to use. So we're going to write asset, and you can see it comes up in the tooltip here. An open bracket because this is a method, and we're going to say we want to use the Euro/USD. So we're telling it to use the Euro/USD. We're going to do a couple things now, like a couple of settings that we're going to use. One is log file. So this is going to, what that means is it's going to keep all the trades that it tests over in a log file, which is really useful for checking that the software has done exactly what you want it to do. And then we're going to have this one called plot now, which is just when the simulation is finished running, it's going to show us the equity curve as soon as it's finished. So we'll say log all trades and show equity curve. So now we get into the meat and bones of how this is going to do how it's going to trade. So we've set up the parameters of it, and you can see how quickly we did that. We did that in 5 lines of code. We're already now into how we're going to trade it. So the first thing we need to create a variable, and in C Lite we're going to create there's a couple of kind of common variables. One is var, and that's if there's a single number in there, and you can also create vars, which is a plural if you like, and that's if your variable is going to be has multiple things in it, like say for instance prices. Prices over time, it's going to be a list of prices. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to get all our prices and we're going to store them in a list or a vars called prices, and we'll say we want it to be a series, which is like a list. It's going to be an ordered list, and we're going to use every time the price bar is run, we're going to use the close price and store that in our list. So there's our prices. So we've got all our prices stored, and that's obviously the foundation of any kind of price analysis. We'll then take then we want to have, let me just comment that as well, store prices as serialized list. Get rid of that actually, just as a list. And then what we want, so we're going to do a simple slow moving average, fast moving average strategy with a crossover. So we need 2 lines on our chart. So the first one we need is a slow moving average. So we're going to do that, again it's going to be a series, because it's a list in an order, and we're going to use a function that's built into Zorro called moving average, and similar to in MQL, you can highlight that and press the F1 key, and it'll bring up the helpful tool for that, and you can see the indicators that are available in Zorro, and these indicators are excellent, and some of them you will not see natively in MetaTrader, and many of them are much far superior in my opinion. But you can see the moving average here. We've got the moving average function. It wants the data that it's looking at, which is our price data. It wants the time period, which is 50 usually, or 200, or whatever that might be. And then the MA type, so whether that's slow, simple, exponential, linear weighted, it wants the type here. So and it's going to return a single variable var, which we're going to store each time the run function is called. So we'll just close that now. So we've got moving average, and you can see it wants the data first. So we'll give it the prices data, and then it wants the time period, which we're going to use the slow moving average. It's going to have a 200 time period, and then it wants the moving average type. So we're going to go MA type and underscore SMA for simple moving average, and close that bracket and the other bracket. And there you go, that's that one done. And we'll do exactly the same but for the fast version. So I won't copy and paste, I'll just go through it again just so you can see what I'm doing again. Fast moving average, let's get it right, come on. I'm going to do series, moving average, prices. There's the 50 period we're going to use for the fast one, so not very fast, but it's what we're going to use. And we're going to again use MA type, SMA, and that should do it. So now we've got a list of, you've got to imagine across your across the whole 10-year period, we're going to have what the price is every bar. We're going to have what the slow period is every bar, and we're going to have what the fast moving average is every bar. And that can be plotted in a chart, which I'll show you in a moment, but also can be used to test on. So then we want to analyze, have we got a crossover? Now this is where it would get really complicated in MetaTrader. You'd have to do lots of complicated things about the before bar and the after bar and all this kind of rubbish. Look, watch how simple this is in Zorro. So we go if, I'm going to literally say crossover. So if the fast moving average crosses over, so we'll use our fast MA. And if that crosses over the second one, which is the slow MA, that's going to return true. We'll close our loop, our if loop, and we're going to say enter long. And that's it. That's a long trade written out. There will that's all it's going to do. It's as simple as it gets. And then we're going to do else if. We'll do else if, and we'll do the opposite. So we'll do cross under. We'll do fast MA again. So when the fast moving average crosses under the slow moving average, that'll return true, and it will execute the code in between here. And what that's going to do is we're going to say enter short, and we'll do that. So we've not said, at this stage, we've not said how big the trade is. It's just going to take the minimum size, the standard size. But that, for the purpose of this, and you'll see, the size of the trade just really is relevant relative to your account size. So we don't necessarily need at this stage, just adds an extra layer of complication. So that's our trading logic. That's all it took. If I'm honest, I've been a bit, I've spaced this out quite a bit to make it readable. This could have been done in basically 2 lines. So you can see how quickly and easily you can get this strategy running for a simple moving average backtest. And then we will do plot, and so what we're doing here is, what we want to do is on the price chart, we want to see our moving averages so we can verify that they've worked and entered the trades at the right time. So we're going to use the plot function, which is built into Zorro. We're going to give the line what they're drawing a name. It's going to use the fast MA data series. We're going to say it's a line, and then we're going to give it the color red. And equally, we'll do the same for the slow period. We'll give it this slow MA line and blue, and we'll drop that in there. So that's going to draw those. So put the comment in here, draw slow MA line, and we'll do draw fast MA line. So we'll do that. We've got that there. We'll click save, And then what we need to do is run this. So we'll get Zorro up again. We'll go to open this, and I'm going to go down to change folder. And I'm going to navigate to where I've saved that file. As you can see there, 10-year backtest SMA, which is the file we've got here. I'm going to click open, and then we'll click test, and hopefully there are no compile errors, but we shall see. And there aren't. And there's our test. So you can see how quickly that was. I mean, I didn't even have to, I haven't sped up the video, I haven't done anything like that. I've done a, that's a 10-year test. How big are the bars? Let's do the daily bar. Let's do daily bars again. Okay, so so what we've done now, I've just moved the period. Now you can use this slider to do anything from minute 1 bars, hourly bars, obviously 60 minutes in an hour, 4 hourly bars, you do 240, and you go up to daily bars, which are 14. There are 1440 minutes, if you didn't know, in a day. Put that to 1440 and press test. So you can see that's run through the daily test really quick. It made an annual gain of 9.6%, which, you know, incredibly low, you might say, but a lot of people would take that. But there we go, 9.6%, and it has had an average win of 73.5 pips. So, you know, as an average win, that's pretty good. Definitely well above the kind of your costs to enter and exit these trades, and 9.6% is not to be sniffed about. But then when you look into the detail of this, you can see here we've got, and I'm going to make this bigger so you can see it. This is the full 10 years you can see here, from 2011 all the way to 2021 to the end of 2021. You can see you've got the price in the black line here going up and down and everything like that, and you've got the fast MA in the red, and you've got the slow moving average in the blue. And you can see over the period of the 10 years, if you do this on the daily bar, and you do 10 year and you do 50 day and 200 day, and see you're not actually taking that many trades. You took one trade which stayed open for you know, a year basically there, and then you had a loser which stayed open for probably 6 months, another loser in a short period of time, then a winner which you had to hold for about a year, then another massive winner which you had to hold for probably another year, 18 months, but it was a huge winner. And that's where you can see, and in the background here you can follow what the equity curve is. So the 0 is what you started at, and then you can see you made a bit of money at the start, but then you hit this period here with a few losers and you knocked right down into negative equity here. And this is, so the red bar being your drawdown. So, and then this massive trade, you got all the way back, and by the time you closed it, you were looking pretty good, but then you had some more losers, 1, 2, 3, 4, taking you right down to your maximum drawdown point. You can see, but you see here actually your equity was here, which is the blue line, which is higher than here, but the drawdown was much higher because you've come from all the way up here down to here. So your drawdown's right down here. Then you had a winner and another winner, which brought you into positive territory. Then another winner and a loser, and another winner, another loser, and then a winner there. So, you know, over the 10 years, you had some rocky times. You know, imagine trying to trade this from the period of about late 2015 through to mid 2017. That's a long period of time, and all you're seeing is money drain out of your account, and then you probably would have quit then. But then if you'd have quit then, you would not have seen all this gain. So that's the difficulty with this kind of trading sometimes, is you've got to trust your algorithm. That's why it's important to have good backtesting setups. So you can see here, you can actually zoom in on this, and you can verify that the trade's open at the correct time. So as we zoom in, you'll start to see the candles appear, and these are the daily candles. And if I just get rid of the equity for a moment, you can see we entered a, I do that, it's going to show me that trade. But you can see here, this is a short trade that was profitable. So the color is not long or short, it's profitable or not. So if we just take the equity off here a second, you can zoom in, you can see that we entered this trade here, and you can see we had the downward cross, the fast MA, entered the trade, and you can see that followed that all the way down there. But you can see how it got in. You see the crossover happens there, but obviously it's confirmed. The first bar that confirms is that one, so the trade's taken on the close of that bar when that crossover is confirmed. So we've had the fast above the, if you did my MQL video, you'll know you've got algorithmically you've got the fast above there, above the slow, and then you've got the next one, you've got the fast below the slow, and so you need that three, you need those to confirm. You need at least the 2 bars here. You've got it there. It's a little bit more difficult to see, but as you get closer, you can see we've gone from fast above, slow below to slow above, fast below, and that caused us a short trade, which it took, and that was the best trade of this whole period, as can be seen in my equity curve. So now you can see that. Now there's so much more you can do. I really hope that this video could go on for ages, showing you all the tools and stuff you can do in Zorro. I hope that I've given you an inkling on how quickly you could do this. This video is half an hour, and we've done a 10-year backtest, and the actual backtesting element, the actual time it took to do the data, is barely anything on. One thing I'll just show you, really just to so you don't say, oh, I give up, this is too hard. Let me just change this to GBP. Change it to GBP. I'm just going to click save. I'm going to open up Zorro, and I'll get rid of that for now. And I'll click test. And it's done the exactly same thing with the British pound over the same period. You see that's 10-year back test, but the British pound would have, it was awful. It took an average of minus 239 pips over every year. Average trade was minus 154, and your equity curve looked awful. There were some big trades, again, similar period of time, and there were some big trades, but there were some absolute stonking losers here, there. Lots of losers, which just took out your thing. So you see your equity curve went right down, then made a big recovery, but then came right down again. And at the end of 2021 was somewhere in the negative zone, although it had been recovering. Who knows if that would have changed. So you can see, it's a classic strategy, but on the British pound over the last 10 years, if that's what you've been doing, you've had a real tough time of it. Would have looked real good from 2014 all the way to 2018, and that's a long period of time. You might think, well, I've got a good trade, but look how quickly that can turn against you. So but that's how easy it was to change the currency. And in the next videos, I can show you how to test over multiple currencies all at once, and I can show you how you can easily change to do different types of crossovers, different types of moving averages, and all that kind of thing. And you can get really advanced with this software tool, and that's some of the videos that I'm going to be coming out with. I hope you've enjoyed the video, and if you like it and you like the Zorro content, then please let me know. Please like and subscribe. Say something in the comments what you'd like to see me do with this. This is a much more fun tool than MetaTrader, in my opinion, so I'd like to show you some more about what it's about. Thank you. So I hope you enjoyed this video. My aim is always to be informative, honest, and importantly, free. If you like the video, be sure to hit the subscribe button and click on the bell icon next to it to be sure that you get notified when the next video is coming out. And if you do like the video, please smash the like button. It helps YouTube to know that this is a good video for traders, which in turn helps other aspiring traders find this channel and get the good content that's on here. But in any case, that's all from me. All the best, and I'll see you next time.